Hey guys, my name is Miranda and happy Thanksgiving week. Today, in honor of the season, I'm going to be talking about the books that I am thankful for this year. Now, I originally was going to do a books I'm thankful for in general video, but I wanted to narrow it down to the books that I have read in the year 2018 because I feel like that list is smaller and I don't feel the need to add every single book in this video. So yes, the first book I am thankful for this year is one that should not come as a surprise to those of you who have seen any of my previous videos because I talk about this book a lot, and that is The Voyage of the Dawn Treader by C.S. Lewis. This book is a part of the Chronicles of Narnia series, one of my all-time favorite series in the whole entire world. The reason that this book stands out to me so much is because it literally all revolves around adventure. Books about voyages just have a special place in my heart, and this one especially does, just because of the world that it's set in. Narnia, oh man, I would live in Narnia if I could. I just absolutely adore every single aspect of this. My favorite characters are in this. Reepicheep the mouse. I love you, dude. It constantly enforces the idea that you need to take every day in stride and to just constantly go and to go through battles and to see every day as an adventure, and I totally am about that. So yes, thank you, Voyage of the Dawn Treader. Thank you, C.S. Lewis. The second book that I am thankful for this year is Wonder by R.J. Palacio. This is actually a reread for me. I read this for the first time last year and I read it again this year. This book just makes so many good and wholesome points in it that completely have changed my mindset when it comes to situations, and I absolutely adore it. So thank you, Wonder, and thank you, R.J. Palacio. The next book, that's great. The next book I am thankful for is pretty self-explanatory, and that is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. I just love everything about this book. Like I said before, it's kind of self-explanatory. So thank you, Alice, and thank you, Lewis Carroll. Love you bunches. Alright, you guys are going to laugh at this one, and I'm going to have to do a lot of explaining on this one. But let me explain, because there is a very good explanation for this book in particular. But I am thankful for Twilight by Stephenie Meyer. It's not that I am necessarily thankful for the story itself, because I'm not a huge fan of the actual story and the series. I am a big fan of the memories that this series holds for me. I actually read this book series around dance concert time for me, so whenever I think about this series, I always connect it to that specific time, and I always connect it to all the girls who would fangirl with me. And I would bring these books to rehearsals and I would actually read out loud some of the chapters, and I just had so many fond memories with people, and I actually had a group of girls who would watch all of the Twilight movies with me after I finished each book. So there's just so much love surrounding the series for me, and it's not even because of the story necessarily, but it's because of the people. So thank you, Twilight, and thank you, Stephenie Meyer, for allowing me to connect with more people and to fangirl about Jacob Black. So for this book, I want to point out an author that I'm thankful for, because there are multiple books that he has written that I absolutely am so grateful I was able to read this year, and that would be Rick Riordan, because he is the author of Percy Jackson and the Heroes of Olympus series. I know a lot of people read these series when they're younger, but I was fortunate enough to read this series now. What I really enjoyed while reading these was the experience of having so many of my friends already have read them, so they could go through the journey with me. It just makes me so happy. So thank you, Rick Riordan. I want to thank another author that I absolutely adore with all of my heart, and that would be Cassandra Clare, the author of all of the Shadowhunters series, and I'm holding up Clockwork Princess, which is the third book in the Infernal Devices, which I read last year, not even this year, but I'm holding up this book because I absolutely adore the cover, and it's one of my favorite books that she's ever written, even though I read the Mortal Instruments series this year. I just wanted to point out her as an author just because of everything that she has done and the amount of work she puts into these books. You really can see it. She allows people to escape into a fantasy world, and I just absolutely appreciate her with my whole entire heart. So thank you, Cassandra Clare. Thank you for the Herondale boys. don't at me. And the last book I want to thank this year in particular would be The Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. I just absolutely adore all the connections to fairy tales in this series. I feel like a little girl when I'm reading these. Yeah, I'm not a little girl because this is a young adult fantasy book, but I absolutely still adore it. And thank you, Marissa Meyer, in particular, because she actually is one of my favorite authors ever. I don't have the book Heartless on me right now, but I really, 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 really love that book too. So thank you, Marissa Meyer. So you totally thought that that was my last book, but actually it's not. I have another book that I am completely and honestly grateful for more than any other book, and it will always stay that way just because this book has saved my life multiple times and it still continues to save my life. This book literally has made me into the person I am today, and that is the Bible. The Bible. This book is my all-time favorite book in the history of the world. It has saved my life. It has saved so many other people's lives. It just changes so many people. It just brings me so much hope in this world, and it allows me to know that I am not alone, and that ultimately is way more than I could even ask for. So thank you, the Bible. Thank you, God, for being who you are. Alright guys, that will be it for this video. I love you all. Please be safe, make good choices, and I'll see you next Monday. And I hope you know how thankful I am for you. And I hope you know how much of a blessing you are to the people around you. You're a star. Thank you for being you.